Welcome to Conservative Voices. This is Edward. Today we're going to talk about a republic, if we can keep it. Against all odds, by God's hand and courageous resolve, the American colonists won their war of independence. But with victory came a new, even greater test. What kind of government would a free people create for themselves? It's a great question. The Patriots knew while the tyranny of King George III, they had no desire to trade one type of oppression for another. They knew that for sure, especially one rising from within. Some American thoughts: let us crown an American king, a better king. And what happened at that time was many of the people did not want that. Even better, George Washington wanted a man of honor, a man that was admired. He refused to seize power that way. He didn't want to seize the power. This is a very important thing. He, in fact, wanted to do something completely different that's more desirable than some. Yet others believe that a republic, a government of the people and by the people, was the only system comparable with human dignity and a God-given liberty. This is important for us to realize, and sometimes we may not. But history issues a warning to us, a very big warning to us. A major difference when it comes to history and how we see it. Every major republic before Greece and Rome eventually collapsed into tyranny. But why? Because fallen human nature is left, if it's left unchecked, will always reach for more power. So the founders asked one of the most important political questions in human history. How do you build a government upon truth that man is sinful? The answer came from scripture and from history. Jeremiah warns us, the heart is deceitful above all things. God instructed Moses to divide authority among the judges and officers. Proverbs warns us against any man going unchecked with power. Isaiah looked forward to the ruler who would rule in righteousness because no ordinary man could, right? The founders understood if men were angels, no government would be necessary. That's James Madison, Federalist Papers 51. And so in 1787, in Philadelphia, through debate, prayer, and fierce conviction, Washington, Madison, Hamilton, Franklin, and others crafted something the world have never seen: a national government divided into three branches: legislative branch, executive branch, judicial, each checking and balancing the other. A constitutional enumerated powers. The federal government could only do what was specifically written, nothing more. And the authority closest to the people through the states and local government, because those who live among the people are more accountable to the people, which is extremely important for us, right? Let's look at this from a different viewpoint. To make their commitment unmistakable, right? They had to make it unmistakable. They later added the Bill of Rights, including the 10th Amendment. The powers not delegated unto the states are reserved to the states or to the people. The structure intentionally limits every ruler because the founders trusted the authority of liberty more than they trusted the government. Very interesting, isn't it? But they knew something else. The brilliant Constitution alone could not save a nation. It requires a moral people, a self-governing people, and people who chose to Let's make sure we keep this. People who chose to do something completely different. Why? Why do we want to do that? Because I personally think that it. Oh, I see it now. We can do that up there. So, um, I do this again. So it requires moral, self-governing people, people who understand their freedoms, people who refuse to live in tyranny, and people who refuse to trade liberty for a promise of security and prosperity. John Adams, Benjamin Franklin. Our Constitution was made for only a moral and religious people. And when Benjamin Franklin exited the Constitutional Convention, a woman asked him, "Sir, what have you given us?" Franklin replied, "A republic, if you can keep it." That is now our responsibility. Our founders did their part. They risked their lives, their fortune, and their sacred honor. They believed liberty is not a human invention, but God-given mandate. So today we must ask, will we honor the covenant they made with freedom? Will we remain a nation under God, where his truth defines our rights? Will we protect this republic for generations yet unborn? Will we call to be a well-instructed people, as Madison said, a morally equal people, as Adam insisted, a courageous and faithful people, trusted in the providence of God, because the Constitution does not define itself. We define it. We, the people, under God, are guardians of the American liberty. Let's study it. Let's teach it. Let's keep it. I'm Edward with Conservative Voices, reminding you we are a republic if we can keep it.